weak and strong point, and it can be used for the offense as a staging point to launch into a town, or as defense. When we're on defense, what we want to do is cover what's called the line of approach, which is a straight line most times from their FB into town. Our goal is to make them fight us and thus not reach the town to support their attacks. The key thing with a zone of control is 360 security. The worst thing we can do, and has happened in the past, is we all charge and look towards the front, and they sneak around and they blow up our tanks. The next worst thing we can do is have a circle of people out there, because it takes a lot of people and it's hard to set up. So as in real life, what we're going to do is strong point, and the best way to strong point is through 3 points, and thus the term the open V. If you look on the map, you can see the open V pointing towards R2 and R3. A V has 3 points to it. If you think of the open part of V pointing towards 12 o'clock, there's the 2 o'clock point, the 6 o'clock point, and the 10 o'clock point. So you need at least 3 people to form the open V, but you can have more than one person at each point. Most times the mission leader will be on the 6 o'clock point, so he can oversee the complete V. Now the tanks and the FRU are in the center of the V. What's important is that the people at 2, 6, and 10 are far enough out that they can actually hear the approaching tanks. They can check for infantry, and they shouldn't be so far that the tanks cannot support them. It's also important that we understand the concept of combined arms. That means tank, infantry, air, and hopefully naval forces. Most times we're quite good at 2 out of 3, but I think what we want to do, and Cal and I have talked about this, is have more guys in the air to support us. Any questions on the concept of the open V?
Yeah, which points are the V now?
Okay, if you look towards, you see the 2 guys in the front. They're looking towards town in direction of R2 and R3.
The EI marks.
Oh, the EI mark.
Now, just as crucial as the V is, when we're on offense, we need to secure the FB. And if it's a situation like now where there's no one else spawning in, the worst thing we can do is lose the FB. So what's good is to rotate at least one person back there just to keep eyes on it and to let us know if it gets attacked. Because if we lose the FB, we lose our mission.
Alright, I didn't know you was using the EI mark. I was looking at the R mark. I got you now.
I was too.
So how we're going to deploy this is the Opal comes in with all the infantry on it and set up a FRU, and the infantry deploy, and we would predetermine who goes to 2, 6, and 10. 9 times out of 10 you'll be going either to 10 or 2 o'clock, and I'll be going back towards the 6. Now something else Opal is good for is to recon, because the bad guys love to shoot at Opals and they think we're out there trying to set up a FRU. So if I'm trying to recon to our front to see what's out there, I'm trying to draw fire. And you just drive back and forth to the front until you get killed, and then you spawn back in on the FRU or get another Opal.
So basically, what Bimmel's saying is, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
basically what Bimmel's saying is our ops now, preferably on Sunday and Wednesdays, but anytime we can get together, is we're going to try to organize our ops more so that we have an organized group as opposed to just kind of a random, hey, let's take this town, and we die one at a time. This way we're all together, we're working as a group, and we're going to accomplish something. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So in a case like this, who goes to 2, 6, and 10? Or is that something that's called out by the leader?
The best way, in the quickest way to get it done, is to do what's called a count off. The first person will say 2, the next person will say 10. Next person will go 2, 10, 2, 10, 2, 10 till you're all done. Or you can just head out that way and check the map and say, well, look, there's 3 guys going to 2 o'clock. Maybe I should go to 10 o'clock.
Okay, so via TeamSpeak, you should call out which direction you want to go, depending on where you see your peers going?
Yep. Now, one thing we don't want to do is overload these points. We don't want to get 6 infantry out there because they might be seen. So in this case, if this was a real attack, we'd have maybe 2 at the most at each point. Now, the choice of your weapon's important. I like to use the sniper rifle, and his partner should be a LMG, and that gives you a full range for everything except the ETs. But you're close enough that our tanks can support you. So the rest of the people, say we had 20 people online, the rest would be set up as a assault force to move forward, because you want to move forward as a group. If we're going to capture a CP, you don't want to go piecemeal in there. You want to go up to it, have a few people watch the doors, the rest of you will go inside. The more people inside a CP, the quicker the clock ticks till it gets the capture.
So does that mean if you...
I was told it won't go any faster after 8 people.
That's correct.
So if you don't have a machine gun or a sniper rifle or something, you don't call 2, 6, or 10? You stay in the middle?
No. You can take what you want, but the ideal weapons would be a sniper or LMG on the 2, 6, or 10.
Oh, so if you call 2, 6, or 10, you don't have to have a certain type of weapon. You just should have a certain type of weapon if you can. Is that right?
Yeah. It's not a big deal. I prefer the sniper rifle most times.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can't get a sniper rifle yet. That's why I'm saying that.
It's
okay.
like idealism.
Okay, let's go ahead and load on the Opal, and we're going to try not to get killed. I'm hoping that the R3 point on the map, there's going to be trees there.
There is a contact actually just north west of us, airplane.
Copy.
Not sure if it's enemy or not. I can't see the halo. It's too far.
So should you call out your name and then 2, 6, or 10?
No, just 2, 6, or 10.
Okay.
But most times just do 2 or 10. All right, moving out. Now, as I'm moving, I'm trying to put something between me and the target. I don't want to be seen, so I'm getting on the low ground. As we know, tanks are slow, so it's a good idea to bring an ATG along. So once you set up, at least you have some armor defense capabilities. Okay, I'm slowing. Look over the hill. And it doesn't look good. A lot of open area.